This is ATL Day Ones, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta. And it starts now.
Welcome into ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and Tenitra. We want to thank you for making us your first listener of the day. And remember, we are free and available wherever you download your podcast. And wherever you download your podcast, make sure you leave us a 5-star review. It is imperative to life, like water, that you make sure you do that, because if you don't, I'm coming for you. I'm just going to be real with you. That's why we're keeping it a buck today on the good old Tuesday. It's a $2 Tuesday. We still haven't quite figured out what that $2 is for. But, hey, we're going to make it work today for you. Now, T, we definitely got so much good stuff to talk about. Obviously, the Falcons got it done last night. They they didn't get the win, but they actually got some good work in last night. We're going to talk about what the deal is, what's going down. Is Arthur Smith's offense starting to finally come together? We kind of see what the plan is. And obviously, the Braves last night, Jada Odorizzi, man, that was a much-needed good performance by him. And last but not least, and for the culture, we got virtual rappers signing virtual contracts, and we'll talk about all that, But T, last night, Braves get the win, like I mentioned. Jake Odorizzi, does his thing. I believe he had 7 strikeouts last night, and he just looked like a guy that Alex Anthopoulos thought he was. He looked like the guy that Alex Anthopoulos thought he was, a guy that can come in and be a solid 5th or 6th guy in your rotation and give you some spot starts from time to time, so you can give your front end of your rotation a nice little rest.
Yeah, and I think even more importantly, give an opportunity for Ian Anderson to continue to get it together in AAA, kind of buys Alex Anthopoulos some time. And I think with that start, getting those 6 innings and finally getting past 5 innings in his 4th outing with the Braves was really, really critical. And, that more than anything, every little bit counted last night. And you got to give so much credit as well to that bullpen and how they literally held the Pirates scoreless on the back end of that game. Kenley Jansen with his 29th save. It was just a great all-around performance for that pitching staff overall. And you needed it, because all you got on offense really was from your, as I like to call them, the dynamic duo of Michael Harris II, who actually hit the 2-run home run and drove Vaughn Grissom in last night. So very much needed, and you love them to get that win. Also coming off of, again, hoping not to have a letdown from the highs of beating the Mets and the highs of beating the Astros, and you get a subpar 500 team like the Pirates, and you take care of business.
Yeah, and that's all you ask, right? Because a lot of people are like, oh, they only beat them 2-1. So what? Like, they got the win. Like you say, I love seeing AJ Minter come in and just doing his thing. Like, you love to see those things. And then Kenley Jansen, like you mentioned, closing the door down like he's supposed to, like the savvy veteran that he is.
Yes.
And I think that, in the top of the 5th inning, I think just Michael Harris it is really amazing what he's doing, because I think that we've gotten a little spoiled down here in Atlanta. And we're going to talk about something that Dansby Swanson said that I thought was very interesting, and it was very fitting. But before we do that, T, tell the folks about how Dave is lending a helping hand right here on Locked On Sports Atlanta.
Yeah, absolutely. We are not out of the woods yet as it relates to COVID and the pandemic, and how it has really just hit a lot of people's pockets really hard, and it continues to hit a lot of pockets hard. So you may be in a situation where, yes, our gas prices are down and we're able to fill our tanks for a little less than maybe we did even a few weeks ago. But the bottom line is those gas prices are still high. So as a friend of mine used to say, financial stress is definitely always the worst of stressors. And how do you get rid of that type of stress? Well, you borrow a little cash from Dave. Now, that is a banking app that you can easily get help with. $500 instantly with what they call extra cash. So you can finally tackle some of those expenses that maybe have continued to kind of dog you and kind of stress you out. There's no interest, no credit check needed. So if you think about it, the fact that millions of people have already downloaded this app and gotten the financial relief that they needed, that is a positive. That's a good thing. So again, if you're in a pinch, it's really easy to download the app from the App Store right now. That's DAVE. You sign up for that extra cash account. You can get up to $500 instantly. And of course, for terms and conditions, you're just going to go to dave.com/legal. Instant transfer fees apply. Banking is provided by Evolve, member FDIC, and your future you will most certainly thank you.
No doubt about it. I know what all you always can bank on is Michael Harris coming through in the clutch. Like, at top of the fifth, that 2-run bomb and the opposite field. And the thing that kind of really just stood out to me, T, is that he sounds like a veteran. Like when he was getting interviewed after the game, he started talking to him about, different things and about that actual, that at bat. And I was just like, wow, this dude doesn't sound like a rookie. He doesn't sound like a guy, like he sounds like he's been here before. And I think that says a lot. And I think people need to kind of understand what we're watching here, because this is special. Like, this is not something that happens all the time. There are a lot of fans of other teams. I was listening to a podcast of a guy talking about the Pittsburgh Pirates. Don't ask me why I was doing that, but that's what it was. And you can just tell it's just different. Yeah, I think we got to be thankful that we cover this team, because I'm a big fan. I have always been one, and I think that it is for what we're seeing with Michael Harris and what we're seeing with Vaughn Grissom. I think it's just truly phenomenal, and I think that Dansby Swanson kind of put into words as well. He called him an X factor, and it makes so much sense, right? Because with Adam Duvall. At the beginning of the year, he was playing center field. And now, don't get me wrong, Adam Duvall is not a slouch. He's not a bum out there in the outfield, but it said something. You start to see a change in this defense when Michael Harris is inserted into that center field spot. And I think that, I think Dansby Swanson couldn't have said it better by calling that man a straight up X factor. And that's what you want to see when guys start to get the call, especially on the Braves, because we know they're more than likely they're ready if they're getting the call this early.
Yeah, and Michael Harris II is an X factor, and Vaughn Grissom is becoming an X factor, because when you think about the fact that these are two rookies who've been called up from Double-A, and the fact that the bottom of the order for the Braves they are the best bottom of the order in all of Major League Baseball. That is pretty darn impressive. Exactly. And that's a pretty darn impressive. And I had the opportunity to meet both of them Friday and talk to them a little bit personally. And they really are as mature one-on-one conversations as you see them when they step up to the plate. They are very calm, very cool, very collected. You can just tell, even in a quick conversation with Michael Harris II, even in a quick conversation with Vaughn Grissom, they're very, very level-headed, very sensible guys, but still also bringing that fun and bringing that edge to the Braves team. So they fit, and I can see why they fit in, because that's exactly the formula and the blueprint that has worked, not just at the plate, but who this team has become and what that identity is when you look at Ronald Acuna Jr., even to some degree Austin Riley and Dansby Swanson, but also Ozzie Albies, of course. So this and William Contreras, got to get him in there as well. But this is the formula, this is the blueprint, and what you're seeing is that it's coming to fruition. And you cannot talk about an X factor, especially from the youth movement of the Braves, without, of course, throwing in a Spencer Strider in that equation as well. But no question about it, we know that the league definitely loves pitchers, so nobody would be shocked if Spencer Strider ends up getting Rookie of the Year. But there's no question in all of our minds that Michael Harris II has definitely made not just a case for himself to be Rookie of the Year, but arguably the back half MVP for this team, right up there with an Austin Riley or even a Dansby Swanson, especially Dansby's first half.
Yeah, you have to, if there's any year that co-rookie would suffice, co-rookie of the year would suffice for the International League, I think this is definitely the year, hands down. And as the Braves want to continue this thing, and by 7:05 tonight's first pitch. Yes. And we're definitely going to be looking for them to get another win, because, like I said, in the beginning of this conversation, hey, the Braves are supposed to beat this team, and it doesn't matter what the score is, because I don't care how bad the Pirates are. As long as they got more runs at the end of the game than the Pirates, that's all that matters. But T, coming up next, we're going to talk about some positives and negatives about the Falcons last night. What can we glean from ATL Day Ones is going to let you know exactly what that is. This is Locked On Sports Atlanta. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.